Hello traders, welcome back to another video. I trust you're all well. So on today's video we'll be doing what we always do, analyzing the markets and preparing for the upcoming week, looking for potential setups. So without any further ado, looking at the USDJPY on the 4-hour time frame. Currently, the past week we had some CPI numbers coming out. We had a drop, we had a market dropping, we get a spike to the downside. Unfortunately, I took a hit, I took a loss, and then potential buyers came in as I was anticipating that price will go to the upside, but then it failed to take the turn to the upside according to the time that I anticipated. But currently we see a wonderful break after testing the demand zone. We see price breaking out of the high here, the late high at the previous high at 135.401. Currently it broke out of that high. So what we're looking at, we're looking for price to pull back. So impulse, pullback, continuation. So with price impulsing, we're looking for a potential pullback. Then from there we could take our buy opportunities, stop loss just below the demand zone, and then we could target 137.484 dollar region. So what could happen when price reaches that zone? We could see price resisting to break out of the zone immediately, and then it could result in a drop, a bit of a drop, resisting from that zone. Then we could continue breaking out of the zone. So this is what I'm anticipating: an impulse, currently a pullback, taking buy opportunities, stop loss just below here, a continuation to the upside, resisting a bit with a pullback to the downside, then continuing to break. It depends on the type of momentum that we have. Let me see the 1 hour time frame. So guys, you guys should go and check up on the previous video. I talked about the USDJPY forecast on the CPI video. If you haven't subscribed yet, go hit the subscribe button, like, set the notification, and share to your loved ones or everyone that you care about, because we be doing this, guys. Subscribe. Let's move to the other pairs. Taking a look at the EURUSD on the daily time frame. So I decided to analyze the daily time frame to see a broader view. So we had a consolidative state here. The market was consolidating since April the 13th until it broke out on the May the 11th. So it's actually a whole month of consolidation, moving into one direction without a clear view or a clear turn or breakout. So eventually this week we got a breakout. We've seen the market impulsing to the downside. So with currently what I'm seeing, I'm anticipating that we could continue to break this low here. So those who entered here, their sells, this is their first take profit. So we could break out of this zone and drop to the demand zone at 1.07367. From here I'm anticipating that we could break this demand zone, creating a supply zone. From there we could pull back, test the previous breakout, and then target the next possible target at 1.05307. This is a long-term target, but currently for the upcoming weeks, days, we could potentially reach the low at 1.07353 dollar region. Let's look at it also on the 4-hour time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame, as you can see, guys, the price was on a bearish momentum. It's been a bearish trend for the whole week. We've seen price impulsing, correcting, sellers coming in, price dropping to the downside, breaking even this demand zone. The moving average remained above the price, meaning that it's showing us that trend is going to the downside. It's a sell territory. It has been on a sell territory for quite some time. So sellers came in. So this EURUSD is a sell, guys. EURUSD is a sell. I'm anticipating further weakness on the euro. Let's see the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, still on the 1 hour even. Continuing on the GBPUSD on the 4-hour time frame. So looking at this is a very clean chart. So this week, as well as the euro, since the USD is bullish, then the pair correlation term states that the pairs that are opposite to the USD will sell. So this is pair correlation. So we've seen a double top there. We've seen sellers coming into the market. I mentioned this, guys. Go mention the previous video. I mentioned that price will impulse, and then from there it could pull back. Since it broke out, it doesn't mean it's a bullish. It's just the way the market operates. You understand? So go check the previous video on the GBP pound dollar analysis. So we've seen price breaking the demand zone, then sellers came in heavily, creating, this was the neckline, and then from there buyers came in with the impulse, price impulse, pulled back. Sellers took more trades, and then they took the market to the downside. Currently price is trading at $1.24499 region. So with this, looking at the moving average, the 200-day moving average, it signals a sell. You understand? GBPUSD is on a sell territory, so we're looking for a breakout. We're looking for a breakout of this zone. You understand? So a breakout of this zone could take us to the targeted $1.23877 region. So this is what I'm anticipating. Then after it hit this zone, it will start a new phase. So possibly you could see a consolidating stage, or movement that is consolidating for quite some time, maybe a day or two. Then we could get an impulse targeting this zone. Looking at the gold market, the gold chart on the 4-hour time frame. So with the gold, we've seen that gold price has been high. It's been high, reaching some higher targets like $20,078 region. We've seen gold reaching that price. That's a huge price. So currently gold is turning back. Understand? Gold is turning back. Sellers are coming in. Since we sell high and we buy low. Also the Fed are not actually changing the rates. They are still maintaining the 50 bps interest rates decision. You understand? They are still maintaining the 50 basis points rates. So currently, as the market is being trending to the downside, possibly the market has been on an uptrend a bit, and then what will tell that this market has changed the direction is a breakout of this zone here, the demand zone. You see this green area. A breakout of this zone would signal to us a sell territory or a change of direction. So currently I'm not interested on the gold, but as soon as it breaks out of this demand zone, then it could start gaining my attention. So an impulse from that zone, a pullback, then from here we could take our sell stop loss just above there, then a continuation to the downside. So this is my take on the gold price for this coming week. The moving average is above. This is the 1-hour time frame. So let's see what happens this coming week on the gold price or the gold chart. Looking at the USDCAD on the 4-hour time frame. Looking at the USDCAD on the 4-hour time frame. Since on the previous video of the analysis I spoke about the USDCAD, that it was out of all the pairs that I analyzed, this was one of the standing pairs. This was one of the top pairs. Understand? Unfortunately for me, it took a drop, then I couldn't hold it. It went down and then blew. Then possibly if it didn't do something like this, then I could still be in the chart or in the trade. But then it eventually broke out of the high, impulsing, consolidating, and then continuing. I mentioned that price could reach this zone, and then possibly from here we could start to sell. But then we've seen that sellers are not into the market. They are not interested. The market is dominated by buyers currently. So buyers are even coming in with the moving average below. Price will continue to rise. So in continuation to the upside, targeting 1.36461, a bit of resistance from there, then eventually a breakout could be ideal for the USDCAD. Go check out the previous analysis. Oh, I flipped this, but then I'll fix the horizontal line. So it moved a whole sum about 3435 plus minus 1,500 points. Let me see the 1-hour time frame. So the market moves in structures, guys. impulse, correction, impulse. That's how the market move. So this is my anticipation for the USDCAD this coming week. Looking at the CHF on the 4-hour time frame. Looking at the USDCHF on the 4-hour time frame. Let me look at it from the daily. So the USDCHF has been consolidating for let's see the fourth for nearly a month now. So price dropped to the downside, but failing to continue with the downside, with the downtrend. Then buyers came in, got attracted by this low. So since then, buyers bought. So with the pattern that I'm seeing here is we have a head, first shoulder, and a second shoulder. So more buyers came in here. Price came in on the demand zone. Then there were more position traders and swing traders coming in. Currently, price is still moving to the upside. I'm looking for more bullish movement. For our time frame, so on the 4-hour time frame, we've seen so much consolidation pattern head, first shoulder, second shoulder, buyers coming in, impulse to the upside, breaking out of this high, break out of this high. Currently we're left with this high and that high, but overall we've taken out the demand, the supply zones that are stubborn, and we reached the 200-day moving average acting as resistant. Currently it could possibly impulse to the upside, and then it could be a support. So this is a strong demand zone on this structure. We're looking to impulse to the upside, and impulse to the upside is an ideal movement. What's happening now? An impulse to the upside could be an ideal movement. Just a bit of impulse pullback from here. We could take our buys targeting this high there at 0.91134. So take that into consideration. This could happen. An impulse targeting long-term at 0.91972. So guys, this is all. Oh, what am I doing? This is all for this on this video. Happy trading, and then make sure that you continuously make research and listen to the news and read the news, because the news change over time. Every second, every hour, the news change. So something might happen that could result in the market not being bullish and then turning red. Cheers.